Welcome to Solar Communications Project Management Overview. This presentation will demonstrate how Solar Communications will handle your scope of works. You will want to satisfy yourself and be 100% confident that Solar Communications can deliver to time and budget whilst maintaining the very highest standards of telecommunications and network engineering. We at Solar recognise the importance of investment into the infrastructure which will come to serve your company for many years to come. You may be investigating an IP telephony such as ShoreTel, Avaya or Panasonic, data networks, lines and calls including rental, recording and auto attendant, office moves, network switches, mobile gateways, disaster recovery solutions, mobile or even a combination to match your business needs. We are sure you have all experienced or can relate to a project which has not entirely gone to plan, was late in its delivery, was over budget, the deliverables or products created did not match your requirements, the quality was not of the standard you thought they would be, the engineers did not know what they were doing. The list could be endless. Solar's objective is to ensure your company experiences a flawless and rewarding experience while working with us on this project. So how can Solar ensure you maximise your return on investment? A project is initiated when your purchase order is received at Solar Communications. The project management team will be formally informed you have commissioned the work. The project manager will undertake the immediate following actions. Identify and assign appropriate technical resource to the project. These resources will be in the form of network and telecom specialists, project management office, the sales consultant, operations director, and any other identified relevant resources at this time. A project folder will be opened, which will reside for the duration of the project on the Solar Communications secure network. Standard project documents will be branded with your company details. A risk, issue and action log will be opened. The project manager will call an initial internal Solar review meeting to discuss the scope of work. This meeting will identify any immediate risks, issues, dependencies, questions to be asked, and agree assumptions being made about the project. The risk, issues and assumptions identified at the Solar internal meeting will be documented and the appropriate document set will be updated. The next step will be to arrange an external customer-facing kick-off meeting. The representatives at this kick-off meeting from the customer side will be those stakeholders who will be influencing the project on a day-to-day basis. The representatives from Solar will include the technical resources, along with the senior project manager who has been assigned to your work. The kick-off meeting may well include a site survey, however, depending on the geographic location of the client, this may be followed up at a later date. By the end of the client kick-off meeting, scope will have been confirmed, risks and issues agreed, actions identified, owners for risks and assignees to action the risks or issues confirmed, along with the appropriate completion dates. The meeting will also identify key contacts, their email address, landline telephone number, mobile telephone number, and preferred method of communication. The project manager will then write up a meeting minutes report and distribute to all stakeholders identified for the distribution list. During the client kick-off meeting, the hardware licensing and software to be ordered will have been discussed. The Solar project management team will satisfy themselves that the advice provided to the client at this stage is accurate. However, hardware and/or licensing may be changed during this meeting, therefore altering the scope of works originally identified. This is not a problem and should provide you as the client the reassurance that your order has been thoroughly technically vetted. Once the hardware and licensing requirements are confirmed, reviewed formally and signed off internally by relevant technical consultants from Solar Networks and Telephony, then the order may be placed. The order and review confirmation sign-offs will be stored in the client project file located on the Solar network. By undertaking this gateway review of the hardware, software and licensing order, Solar are providing a governance review on the project for this stage. The next steps will be to create a draft statement of work. Depending on the size and nature of the project, this may be a complex or simple document. The statement of work will be issued to the customer for agreement. The statement of work details how Solar Communications will interact with the client and any other third parties, for example Virgin, BT, NTL and so forth, so that the success of the project is guaranteed within the constraints the project has to work to. The statement of work will be issued initially in a draft format, for example version 0.1. Any changes which need to be made will be agreed and done so accordingly, and then a new draft will be issued with the next version number, 0.2. Once the statement of work is accurate and agreed by Solar and the client, the statement of work will be issued as version 1.0. Any changes to this document from now on will be subject to change management and will be reviewed by a Solar and Client Change Approval Board, or CAB as it is commonly referred. The reason Solar are insistent on strict version and change control is that we need to ensure the quality of the service and workmanship which we provide. If we work to unversion controlled documents or do not approve formal changes, then you very quickly could experience a project misalignment to customer expectation. Once the statement of work has been signed by the client, a draft project plan will be created. This draft project plan will detail the tasks that will need to be undertaken to ensure the smooth waterfall progress of the project. The project plan is split into various sections. Each major section will have a gateway review. This effectively means the project cannot move to the next stage without the relevant sign-offs. A good example would be the ordering of hardware, software and licensing. The review would confirm that all information is accurate, so you as a client, unless you change the scope of your requirements, would be confident that the order placed is accurate and you will not be asked to pay any additional costs at a later stage in the project. We have now completed the project initiation. During the project installation, the project manager and technical engineers, along with customer representation, will hold a checkpoint meeting at the end of each day. This checkpoint typically lasts for 15 minutes. It is a method by which all parties can validate progress against scheduled tasks. In the event the Solar engineers had identified a simple issue during the day, for example a locked door, they would have contacted the on-site client representative in the first instance in a bid to resolve the problem. If the problem is still not resolved, then they would contact the Solar PM who would take appropriate action. In the event the issue remains, the Solar project manager would escalate to the Solar operations director, and he will provide the project steer at this time. The checkpoint also serves the purpose to ensure the client is happy with Solar, so if any corrective action is required, we can apply this immediately. Likewise, this forum also provides Solar the opportunity to discuss items which had impacted them, or not, as the case may be. The overall objective is to ensure a smooth path to completion of the work, with any inhibitors removed. The project will also have a series of weekly checkpoint meetings with the client to discuss the project. These meetings will have representatives from any party which is deemed appropriate for the project's success. The meetings may be face-to-face or by teleconference. That concludes the project management overview. I hope it has provided you with a thorough insight as to how the project will be controlled. So, let us quickly review the control mechanisms the project has in place. Internal and client-facing kick-off meetings. Verifying your order for hardware, software and licenses. Confirming the scope of work. Identification of key stakeholders, contact information and preferred communication method. Roles and responsibilities identified. Risks, issues, actions, ownership assigned. Dependencies, key dates, assumptions identified and agreed. What is the customer quality criteria? A statement of work. Weekly checkpoint meetings held either face-to-face or alternatively teleconferences. Installation checkpoint meetings during the time Solar engineers are at site. Exception reporting if required. Gateway reviews. This provides governance so the project cannot proceed unless all requirements are met or any risk or issue has an acceptable mitigation. Engineer work instructions, checklists and review of work such as pre-configuration of switches. Database questionnaire, or DBQ as it is commonly referred. This contains information such as names of personnel, DDI, IP, server name, VLAN, hunt groups, work groups, and in fact all your solution configuration information. Microsoft Project Plan including rollback if required, and post-project review meeting. I think you will agree, we at Solar take control and quality very seriously. That is why we demand our personnel conduct themselves in such a manner that the customer cannot give anything else but 100% customer satisfaction feedback. Well, that concludes the Solar presentation on how we will handle your order. I would like to thank you for your time, and we at Solar look forward to working closely with you in the future.